so we have someone who is very ill from cancer, not in remission, but seeking alternative medicine as a cure. But there's also, he's married, he has children, and then there's the ex-wife. Who walks in with she was wearing some extremely nice clothing
she
there.
held it down. She held her own. She held her own. Tasha Mays, shout out to Tasha.
Okay.
Yeah, she did her thing for sure. Yeah, I'm the character with the cancer, and you're right. I'm definitely not in remission. I've been given a limited number of days at this point to live, and as I'm even writing it, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, okay, what would be the first thing that I would think about? Family. Okay. So then family became an immediate go-to in my writings. And that's sort of how that all developed. And I was thinking about the woman that I spoke about. I'm thinking about her during the writing process, and I'm thinking about the things that we were trying to do versus what, she wound up going to an oncologist, and the oncologist gave her that chemotherapy, and I talked to her husband to this day, and he feels as though that played a role in her death, because she was doing so well, and then they gave her that, and he feels, he to this day, and bless his heart, he still goes to the grave site every day, and I talk to him regularly, and I just left the grave site. So,
what kind of research did you do for this when it came to dealing with cancer? Did you talk to doctors? Did you talk to nurses? Do you have any people in your family who are in the medical field?
Yes, all of the above. I talk to doctors, and I know the general prescription that doctors will issue, right? We know that that's going to be some involvement of chemo and radiation. Then I talk to other outside. I do a lot of research just because I just do. And that was something I started coming across, the immunotherapies and the biotherapies that are out there now. And I just don't think that those therapies and those treatments are being given enough attention. Every now and then you'll read an article where something has been allowed. Just last week or two, we had something came out and made a statement about there's a therapy that's being, allowed or approved, is the proper wording. So every now and again you hear about it. But with all the people working on those cures and treatments, I want to bring more attention to that, because chemo came out in the 1940s. As far as I'm concerned, that's an antiquated way of dealing with it.
And it doesn't appear it has changed since the 1940s.
No, it hasn't. And again, in my research, the best cancer that has a chance of surviving is testicular cancer.
Oh, okay.
And there's a 41% chance in that. That's the best.
Okay.
So then that means everything and everybody else has less than 41% of a 41% chance. Those odds are not that favorable.
Those odds are not that good at all.
No,
Not at all.
So here we are.
So here we are with the film,
Yeah.
The Gift and the Curse.
Right.
What's the gift?
Well, the gift and the curse as it relates to the film literally would be me giving it away. So I don't want to do that.
Okay.
But because I write in layers, I write it with texture, there are a number of gifts. One of the main gifts is the fact that the family, my family, has gone on to, do fairly well, for themselves or whatever, living in the swimming tennis community, and your kids go to the best schools and they got the highest SAT scores, and they go on to tier 1 universities and all of the name colleges. So that's the gift.
Okay.
Right? But
a family that's doing well and there's not a lot of sickness is what you're saying.
Yes. Okay. Well, there wasn't any sickness.
There wasn't.
Right. But absolutely, there wasn't a lot of sickness. They were doing well and affording their children all the benefits that they may or may not have had themselves. But the curse is the fact that his children grow up with less than a realistic view of society.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, like, for instance, my kids, sometimes I'm trying to get through to them just to make sure that they understand what you're really dealing with.
Right.
And
the privileged type of kids.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
Kind of,
say it. Go ahead, admit it. You admit it. They are privileged.
Kind of, sort of.
They don't have to work too hard, and their dad is going to bring home the bacon,
all of that,
or the apples and the grapes and
all
everything
of that.
Healthy. They're going to be able to have the best clothing and tennis shoes and whatever they need, and money in the pocket.
Right, and they grow up with that mindset, and all of their friends have that mindset.
Oh yeah.
All of their white friends, particularly, have that mindset. So when they, when they're all doing what they do, sometimes they don't recognize. Nah, I know you came up with them since kindergarten, but there are differences. Not differences necessarily how I see you, but how the world sees you. When you get out there, like for instance, my son, I worry about my son all the time.
Right.
Because regardless as to what zip code we live in now, that doesn't always translate if he stopped or pulled over.
Right.
Or whatever the case may be. So those are concerns that I have, but he's, Dad, you're always worrying, Dad.
Yeah.
Like,
I
Lord.
I call my son also, or text him and ask him, where are you? Where are you driving to? What are you up to? What are you doing now?
Right.
And he's like, why are you asking me all this? Like, I can take care of myself, but I want to know that you're safe.
That's right.
As well.
That's right.
Yeah. So.
And too, they have the young people's mindset where it can't happen to me.
Right.
Then that's everybody. That's across the board. You and I had that back then. But now we've grown older and wiser, and you know what's out here.
Yeah. We do.
Yeah. So that's the curse. They grow up with a skewed perspective on things. My kids, my son's going to Lollapalooza, I'm like, oh Lord. Son, be careful. You go into a music festival. I know what that entails. Keep in mind, you can't always flow like they flow. And even if it's under the guise of having a good time, I get it. But you're not seen the same, So all of that.
So how do they see the sickness or cancer in the topic of this film, still without giving it away?
Yeah, well, again, this film is basically, I just, again, want to bring light to the alternative treatment. So in the trailer, you'll see that the father tells, or the husband is talking to his wife, and he's like, look, I'm not doing that chemo. We've seen the harsh, effects that has on friends of ours. I was, again, thinking about my girl.
Yeah. Losing hair, losing weight, not eating.
All of that.
Yeah.
All of that. Thinking about my mentor's wife. As I'm thinking about it, I'm remembering all of that. So I said, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and so that's really where the focus comes in terms of the sickness and so on and so forth. And he just looks for other alternatives, and I won't give any more away than that.
Okay, well, you have to start out when you're trying to seek alternative medicine,
Yes.
or the healthy way. Early, I would suppose, as opposed to waiting to the latter stages of an
That's
illness.
right. That's right.
Yeah, or eating for life, fit for life.
Yeah.
There are a number of books out there that try and get us to change our diets and the way we live and how we eat, drink, and what we consume and put into our bodies.
Yeah.
So did you learn that is also the difference in what we are putting into our system?
Yeah, you're so right on that, Gwen. That's a very good point, and I couldn't agree with you more. I have personally tried to change my lifestyle as well. I won't even say diet, because diet usually means 2 weeks to lose the weight for the red carpet.
Yeah, and then there's the DIE in that word.
Well,
yeah.
Then there's that.
Yeah.
So you're right. So yes, to your point, I have definitely recognize the importance of what we put in our bodies.
Yeah.
And I am now practicing that myself. It became a little easier when you don't have kids. Your kids are going off to college and doing their thing now. So yeah, we've just changed our whole lifestyle, really.
What kind of research have you done or continue to do on chemotherapy?
Other than the fact that it's ineffective, I haven't really done much, because I don't like the numbers.
Okay.
The numbers are not in our favor. So therefore, I automatically have looked for other things because of that fact. If it were a more positive situation or a more favorable situation, then by all means, let's rally behind chemo.
Yeah, and I would say that cancer doesn't care. It doesn't, because everyone.
That's right.
So many people, the rich, the poor,
That's
and
right.
those in between.
That's right.
Die from cancer.
You're so right.
It doesn't have anything to do with how much money you have.
No. I mean, look at Jobs. It doesn't get any richer than Apple. That's the number one richest company in the world.
Right, and
he's gone.
Yes, that's right. He had all the money that anyone could possibly want, dream of.
That's right. That's right.
The Gift and the Cause will be released on August 15th, 2017.
Yes.
At Porter Sanford Arts Center in Decatur, Georgia.
That's right.
How can people find out more about you and this upcoming film?
Well, we have really been going hard with this promotion. Well, a lot harder than I would generally go. Because all of this is sort of not necessarily my thing. I usually am behind the scenes, but I'm finding out in 2017, 21st century, you got to step it up. So we've got Facebook, we've got Twitter, we've got Instagram, all of it being Duane Dixon, and that would probably be the best way. You could also Google Duane Dixon. If you Google The Gift and the Curse by itself, you'll get Jay-Z, because he's a little bigger than me. He's got a little more name recognition than me. But if you Google The Gift and the Curse, Duane or Dixon or Atlanta, we're right there.
Do you have a website?
Actually, I've pretty much been going exclusively through the social media platforms.
Yeah.
That's really been working for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well, congratulations to you on the film.
Thank you.
And providing this and presenting the film to the community.
Yeah.
And providing people with additional knowledge and alternative. Although you're not a doctor, but it's you can. There's a way people out there who provide information about and who are in the field of alternative medicine as well.
Yes, that's right. There's a lot of people out on the forefront making a lot of great strides, And that's really what I want to bring to the public's attention. So the next time you go to the hospital, they're going to have something else other than chemo and radiation for you.
Okay.
That's the goal.
Thank you, Duane Dixon.
Thank you, Gwen Redding.
All right.
I appreciate you.
All right. See you for the next film.
Absolutely. We're going to see you on the 15th of August. You know you got the invite,
Oh,
right?
yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.